My name is William D. Bishop. I am the managing partner of Bishop and Martin Law Office. I've been practicing family law for over 20 years now, and I'm a certified family law specialist. I'm going to talk a little bit about our firm and what I think distinguishes us from other family law firms in the state of Arizona. I think the biggest thing that distinguishes is our commitment to excellence. This is something that we take very, very seriously. We only have 4 attorneys. We've kept ourselves intentionally small and intentionally focused on family law so that we can provide the best services possible for our clients. We could grow. We have the demand to grow, but at the same time, it makes it a lot easier if we keep ourselves down to just 4 very solid family law attorneys that can provide the best services for our clients. One of the things that we take very seriously is hiring attorneys that are not only competent but very, very competitive. And the competition, bringing the competition to the courtroom isn't something that's learned, but it's something that is innate. It's something that an attorney either has or they don't have. And those are the types of attorneys that we bring on to Bishop and Martin Law Office, are the attorneys that we feel that are going to be competitive and are going to do the best jobs for their clients that they can. We are AV rated firm, which is the highest rated level within Martindale-Hubbell. What that means is that we've reached the highest levels of professional skill and integrity. There's about 5% of the law firms that have been rated as AV rated with Martindale-Hubbell. We're also members of we're on the Martindale-Hubbell Register of Preeminent Attorneys, establishing that we've reached that level of professional skill and integrity. We're very selective about the attorneys that we hire. We go through a pretty rigorous process of hiring our attorneys. We get a lot of resumes in, and literally hundreds of attorneys send us resumes hoping for our job with the firm. We spend a lot of time with the attorneys before we hire them. We talk to judges. We talk to attorneys that have been on the other side of the cases with them. We don't just call their references, but we take a look at what other people had to say about these attorneys. You can find out a lot more about an attorney that they've had a case against in the courtroom, as opposed to maybe somebody that they put on their list of referrals. So again, we call the judges, we call opposing counsel. We find out how they presented themselves in the courtroom, how thorough they were, how well prepared they were, how professional they were, how articulate they are before we ever hire them. One of the things that we do in our firm is not only do we do the regular continuing legal education that's provided through the various programs that are offered through the state bar, but we have our own internal continuing legal education programs. We meet with the attorneys individually, we drill them, we question them on areas of the law, we talk about new cases that have come down, we talk about changes in the statutes. We want to make sure that our attorneys know exactly what's going on with regard to the law and the changes of the law that are happening in family law. Cases are coming down on a monthly basis that change the law or continue to clarify what the laws are as they apply to custody, as they apply to property issues, as they apply to the various types of issues that you're going to run into in family law cases. We want our attorneys to be proactive, not reactive. A lot of times people complain that the lawyers don't know about their cases, or they call up the lawyers and the lawyers don't recall what the case is about. And that's one of the things that we're very, very committed to make sure that doesn't happen at our firm. We want the attorneys not only to understand the cases at every facet, but when they go into trial, if they go into a settlement conference, that they just go into a procedural hearing, that they're ready for anything that's going to come up. It's real important to us to provide a game plan and a strategy to our clients up front. We need to learn the case early on, find out what the issues are, and find out what some of the things that could pop up will pop up, and be prepared for when that happens. And one of the things we want to do is sit down and explain to the client, after we learn all the information, exactly what strategy we want to take, what game plan we want to follow. Certainly need to be prepared for if there's any changes in circumstances or things that might be thrown our way, but at the same time you need a game plan up front. You can't just go into a case and just kind of put it in cruise control. You need to take a direction and stick with that direction, be prepared for anything that comes up. Another thing I think that really distinguishes us from other firms is our commitment to a team approach. Again, we have 4 very experienced family law attorneys, but at the same time it's always great to be able to run something by one of the other attorneys in the firm. whether it's a property issue or a custody issue. How do you think the judge would take a look at this? How do you think the judge would assess that? And it's great to be able to get a couple different opinions on a case from people that you trust and people you work with daily, and that's something that we always emphasize. We'll have one attorney who's the main attorney on a particular case, but we have an open door policy, and we send emails to each other every day. We make telephone calls to each other every day, run scenarios by each other, get second opinions on our cases to make sure that we've thought through all the different factors. And again, two heads are better than one, and it's always nice to get a little feedback from one of the other attorneys on how they take a look at a particular issue and the strategy to take. The distinction between a certified family law specialist and a general practitioner is that pursuant to the Arizona Board of Legal Specialization, the certified specialist must have knowledge and experience substantially higher than that possessed by the general practitioner who regularly handles family law cases. So not only do you have to show that you've handled a number of cases in very complex areas of family law, but at the same time that the skills that you have presented in court rise substantially higher than your average family law attorney. You must obtain references from other family law attorneys that you've had trials against, and you get references from judges as well. Now, these aren't references that the family law attorney goes out and asks for, but rather the state bar sends out questionnaires to judges and to a number of other attorneys to find out just how good of a trial attorney that you are.